Well, hey there. It's me again, your bestie, Bria Jones, here to tell you everything about best friendship because I love you. I have quite a treat for you today. This is the birthday episode. My birthday was actually yesterday, and I was like, I like to do those little recaps of what's been working in my life in the past X amount of years. You know, I turned 31. So I was like, well, should I do 31 things that have been working for me in life? We'll be here till my next birthday if we do 31. So I said, let's just do 13 instead. I like a little flip. Let's do that instead. Pardon me, my birthday gift was getting the flu shot and then getting symptoms of the flu. So if I am just like sounding a little scratchy today, that's why. I fully regret it. I was like down bad on my birthday, just like super irritated and tired. And it was like that tickle right here that you can't scratch. So anyways, so I wanted to share with you some unconventional life hacks that have actually helped my life become a lot better in adulthood. I feel like my 20s was definitely a trial run, and now I'm in my 30s and I definitely feel a sense of confidence. I feel a sense of certainty, definitely more of an identity with who I am. And I just feel a little bit more grounded in life. So what I'm going to share with you are some things that I feel like have contributed to me transitioning into this newer decade with a little more sense of self. First and foremost, those of you that know, I'm a neurodivergent girly. I have ADHD. I think that it's really important to understand that you can't just operate like everybody else. And when I say everybody else, I just mean you have to treat your brain the way it needs to be treated. And so I've had to learn to work with my brain for what it is. Okay. There are just things that do and don't work for me. And something that works really well for me is rewarding myself. It's okay to reward yourself like a little Pavlov dog. It really is. If it trains you to get into a system or create a habit, I think we should just be a little more okay with rewarding ourselves. And it's funny because, you know, we grow up in elementary school, right? There's so many different little reward systems. Like we had this thing in third grade where you would get like fake money for doing on task things. Like the teacher said, hey, get in line for lunch. And you were like, you did it. You weren't lollygagging. She might slip you a little Monopoly money. And the more you had, you could get some little fun items or prizes. And I always wanted the McDonald's lunch. Oh my God. When you got the McDonald's lunch in third grade, your teacher would go pick it up for you and literally bring that Happy Meal in front of all your friends. And let me tell you, I saved up for that. I lived for that. Okay. So at a very young age, I realized like the reward system. I mean, I didn't realize when I was in third grade that reward systems were working on me. I was a victim to that. I was a victim to McDonald's. But what I understood was as I've gotten older, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, do I still bribe myself with McDonald's? Absolutely not. It's not really my thing anymore. But I will say in third grade, it was the biggest flex. I would save up my little money and then I would be like, hey, Miss Wise, I want that McDonald's tomorrow on my desk, pronto. And she would come trotting in with the little red Happy Meal box. And I would sit there in front of all my friends and I would be like, with the barbecue sauce too? You shouldn't have. Listen, I didn't care if that hurt your feelings. I worked for that. So reward yourself. Okay. Figure out what it is that's a healthy reward system for you. Obviously, there are good and bad rewards, right? Like I said, if I was rewarding myself with McDonald's every single day, we might run into problems for many reasons. But I think more so my rewards now are not materialistic things per se. Sometimes they might be, but I would say like right now, for example, rewarding myself could look like booking a facial. It could look like booking maids, okay? It's like the things that make my life better or help me to relax. Like those are what I would consider to be rewards. I don't really reward myself with food anymore. Maybe sometimes, but just not every single time. Sometimes a reward for me is literally just having a slow morning and being like, I'm not going to touch my phone. Like that's kind of what I did on my birthday. I didn't really touch my phone. And that was a reward to me because every day I do have to touch my phone. So that's a luxury for me to turn it off, right? So yeah, we love rewards. Coming in at number 2, mute, don't unfollow. Okay. By all means, if somebody is nasty, evil, skankalicious to you, unfollow them, you know. But if you're in one of those positions where you have someone in your life who you're going through a phase with them, right? And you're not wanting to hit the unfollow button on them because you know it'll cause drama, but you're just kind of sick of them right now, but you know, perhaps you might come back around. Let's try the mute feature before we hit unfollow. Not everybody deserves to have a mute feature, okay? These are for the people that you still kind of have a soft spot for, or maybe you still have to see them around, but you don't really want to continue seeing whatever it is they're putting out there in front of you because it's not serving you for some reason. Okay, maybe it's somebody that you kind of had a situationship with, you weren't really dating. It's like you don't want to make it a big thing to unfollow them, but also you're just kind of not in the headspace to see like what they're doing with their life because maybe you're kind of toxic and you don't need to keep up with their whereabouts. Listen, I get it. I was Scorpio. So maybe we mute them, okay? And if you can be trusted to keep them around and not lurk, mute them. They made the mute feature for a reason. For those of us who were in the in-between, okay? We're not quite hot or cold. We're just kind of like, I need a break from you. And there are a lot of people that I have used the mute feature on and I love it. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm good again. Like I'll unmute them. Sometimes it's the content. Sometimes it's the person. Sometimes it's just a blip in the relationship where I need a fucking breather. But I do have a line, okay? If there's something toxic going on, if this person is making passive aggressive posts about you, being petty, being unkind, that's an unfollow, okay? That's an unfollow. So let's be clear. I think that there are people who absolutely deserve that unfollow button. And then there are some who get a little grace period. And that is where we can do the mute feature to save ourselves a little havoc and headache and more drama. Give us a little time to process. And then the next step can be unfollow if that's what you want to do, babe. It's your life. It's your timeline. I'm just trying to make your life a little less chaotic. Okay, number 3. I want you to start screenshotting everything. When I say screenshot, I'm just saying screenshot because it's like what we know, but I want you to have a paper trail of everything. What I've learned as an adult is you need to have receipts. You need to have documentation on everything. Particularly in business, for me, this has been really important. Especially in the influencer space, it can be really easy to have a lot of conversations that are informal and passing over the phone, this and that. So something that I always do is if I have a conversation with somebody over the phone, or in person, I might send a follow-up email like the next day. So for example, I go to a lot of influencer events, meet a lot of people, talk to them, network, love that. If it was a conversation about maybe perhaps doing something in the future, I will just the next day or a few days later send a little thank you email like, hey, it was great meeting you. Just let me know like when you want to talk more about this, maybe we can grab lunch. Here's my cell, like kind of do a follow-up / thank you type of email depending on who the person is. Also, it's just like, paper trail for you. Now, when you're making actual legit plans and it relates to your business, get it in writing. Always get it in writing. If someone told me something over the phone, like, hey, this is going to be due on Wednesday, just like something they threw out in passing, especially if it's a client, I will always send like a recap email with those notes like, hey, just confirming, I'll get those notes to you on Wednesday, So everything is in writing and they can't come back and be like, hey, this was due Tuesday. And you're like, no, because then it's just word versus words at that point. Okay, get it in writing. I even would recommend, listen, if you're dating a crazy person, save all receipts, okay? You never know what you're going to need. I would hate to ever say that any of you would need to take legal action with these crazy mofos out here, but you might have to. Screenshot things and don't just screenshot them. Perhaps put them in a secret folder or send them to someone who you trust because crazy people might go on your phone and try to delete evidence. So I'm saying that for your safety. I'm saying that as your big sister. Documentation is everything. Always have someone looking out for you, especially if you're in a predicament that might be a little sus. Receipts are everything in 2024, okay? Listen, you guys know drinking water has always been an important part of my wellness routine. But as you may know, since I've been pregnant, I've had this crazy pregnancy symptom of having difficulty drinking water. With all the heightened senses I have and the pregnancy hormones, it's been a blessing and a curse that I can taste drastic differences in my water. So much so to the point that I have a hard time drinking certain kinds of water. Now, I obviously want the baby and myself to get optimal hydration, and luckily, AquaTrue purifiers have helped me get clean, safe water. AquaTrue purifiers use a 4-stage reverse osmosis purification process, and their countertop purifiers work with no installation or plumbing. The water tastes fantastic, and you don't have to worry about PFAs or other harmful contaminants. The filters are affordable and last from 6 months to 2 years. Using one set of filters from their classic purifiers make the equivalent of 4,500 bottles of water. I can truly taste the difference, and staying hydrated has been so much easier with my AquaTrue. AquaTrue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee and even makes a great gift. Today, my listeners can receive 20% off any AquaTrue purifier. Just go to aquatrue.com, that's AQUATRU.com, and enter code BCILY at checkout. That's 20% off any AquaTrue water purifier when you go to aquatrue.com and use promo code BCILY. I'm about done people pleasing with people who don't even like me. Okay. And that doesn't mean go around being a bitch or a mean girl. It means you just take that mask off. So I actually did this. I have never in my life had to deal with an adult bully except for one person. And I've talked about this. It's another Dallas influencer. A lot of you already know who this person is. I have never had to deal with a legit adult bully until then. That also acts like a victim. And it's interesting. This is kind of where I started being like, you know what? Why am I trying to go out of my way to get this person to like me when I know that they hate me? And essentially it was like so many people coming up to me saying that this person doesn't like me, says this, that, and the third about me. But every time I see them in person, they're like trying to be cordial with me. I'm like, why? You know, and I think that's just the Scorpio in me that's like, you don't have to even say hi to me in a room full of people. I know that I'm not the person you want to talk to, and I'm okay with that because I know who I am. I'm using this example specifically because, wow, it will show you people's true colors. When you just kind of take that mask off and stop trying to win people over who hate you, you will see them kind of combust. Okay. And with my personal adult bully, when I stopped trying to be like someone that they actually liked, and when I would be in the same room with them, I would just keep my distance because I'm not fucking stupid. Like, I know you hate me. You've told everyone who's friends with me and they actually like me, so they tell me. I finally stopped that and pissed this girl off to the nines. Like, you would have thought I slapped her in the face. And literally all I did was keep my distance and ignore her because I don't have to interact with people who are just straight up unkind people. Am I going to say anything to you? No. But I'm also not going to go out of my way to be like, oh my God, hi, how are you doing? That is not my flavor. That's not my flavor. And I don't have to do that. So the reason why I feel like this has been such a big step in adulthood for me to kind of finally be like, I'm done with the BS. If someone doesn't like me, I'm just going to be good with that and mind my business, is because after I've made the decision to do that with people, their personality has done a 180. Especially in rooms with me. So I can't recommend it enough. I think that you will find that you'll get people's real intentions for being around you when you start to just take off the mask and be who you are and don't put up this front to try to be liked. Your people will find you. And the thing is, you're never going to be liked by everybody. So it's okay if you just don't put in the effort for those who really go out of their way to hate you. Another thing that has been a life hack for me is investing in experiences instead of nights out. And for me, this was just like, I did the math. Like, a night out for me looks like a nice dinner. I don't really go to bars or clubs anymore. That used to be my thing. But I think right now, like, if I were to have a night out of drinking and dining out, it would probably run me like around $200. Truly, going out to eat in Dallas is not cheap. And then going to get drinks is not cheap. Obviously, I'm not drinking right now, but a drink could be $20 in this economy. And I don't even like alcohol like that at all anymore. So for me, it's just not worth it. And what I have found to be worth it is experiences, traveling, spa experiences, like things that don't make me hungover have been so worth it, but especially travel. I will say travel has been like the top thing that I have loved to invest in. And because I literally don't go out or do anything else, like I'm able to do these like bougier experiences where I can splurge a little more on doing a first class seat for myself because I be saving money. I don't be going anywhere or doing anything. And when I do go or want to do things, a lot of the times, I mean, I've attracted the friends that are very similar to me. We're good with doing like cozy nights in. Like, you want to make a sourdough bread together? Like, that's what I'm talking about, okay? You want to make a mocktail and we go like run to Trader Joe's and then we make a bunch of like appetizers? Like, that's what I'm talking about, okay? We can have so much fun. Everybody throw in like $10 and I promise you, I will make it a fun night for everybody. And we can stay home and not even have to worry about a hangover tomorrow. Hell, we'll get up tomorrow and maybe go on a group walk because we feel so damn good about ourselves. Like, that's my vibe. And because I do that, I have more money to spend on experiences and travel and can even sprinkle in a little luxury here and there. Next, I'm going to say this. The best life hack you can give yourself if you are prone to like mental health issues, like if you have dealt with anxiety, depression, any of those things, learn to be an ally to your mental health and your brain versus a victim. Okay. I have definitely become a victim in the past to my mental health because it's really hard to know how to help yourself. And when you don't know how to help yourself, it's really easy to become hopeless and frustrated and scared and just kind of a victim, essentially, to the problems you're experiencing. But I promise you, there are resources and there are things that you can do. And a lot of what I've talked about on my channel throughout the years has been my own mental health journey. So like, if that sounds like you, please go back. Go back and look at those videos of me fighting to figure out what routine works for myself, how I can invest in my wellness, what can I do to better supplement my body so that I can be an ally to my brain rather than a victim to my brain. I have accepted that my brain works a certain way. Genetically, women in my family deal with certain things. And instead of being in denial about that, I have chosen to be proactive and preventative about that and get ahead of those issues. If I know that the winters are harder for me, I need to go out of my way to prevent those issues by stepping it up with my wellness routine, being more active, maybe traveling to get more sunlight in some other place that doesn't get as much snow or rain. It's all about learning who you are. And that journey can be really frustrating and hard because while you're going through it, you have on these very untrue goggles about the way life is. Whatever the opposite of rose-colored glasses are, that's what it's like to be going through mental health issues. And it can last for weeks, months, years. And it can be hard to remember like reality sometimes, and that life is definitely worth living and that there are things and there are tools that you can use to pull yourself out of that. So I hope by me saying that, it gives you a little motivation to be like, okay, I'm going to fight through this. And while you're going through it, it might feel like it's taking a really long time. It might feel like you're not making progress at all. I promise you, when you look back 3 months, 6 months, a year, you're going to be like, wow, I've made so much progress. So don't give up on yourself and learn how to be an ally to your mental health. This episode is brought to you by Boron. For peaceful days and restful nights, try Boron's Stress Calm and Sleep Calm homeopathic medicines. Find your calm with plant-powered, sedative-free solutions free from artificial sweeteners, flavors, and colors. Stress Calm relieves occasional nervous tension, irritability, hypersensitivity, and fatigue due to everyday stress. The best part? It works to calm both the mind and body without making you feel drowsy, so you can stay relaxed and focused throughout your day. Sleep Calm is a melatonin-free option to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. It's ideal for those restless nights when worries, exhaustion, jet lag, or changing work shifts keep you awake. Both Stress Calm and Sleep Calm come in melt-away tablets suitable for ages 12 and up. For little ones, Sleep Calm Kids are also available in melatonin-free, pre-measured liquid doses for ages 3 and up. All Stress Calm and Sleep Calm medicines are non-habit forming and free from artificial sweeteners, flavors, colors, and preservatives. Claims are based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated. Visit boronusa.com and use code BCIOY at checkout for 20% off your purchase of any Stress Calm or Sleep Calm medicine. That's BOIRONUSA.com. Use code BCILY for 20% off your purchase of any stress calm or sleep calm medicine. Okay, life hack number 7. Skip the last minute invites. Just trust me on this one. Sometimes, okay, there are exceptions, right? Like, obviously, if I got a last minute invite to the Super Bowl, like, I'm going. But the last minute invites to like a dinner, a birthday dinner, last minute invites to events. And when I say last minute, I'm saying probably like my window would be like 72 hours, maybe longer. But I don't do last minute invites anymore. One, because I legit will get anxiety if like I have to come up with an outfit or something like on the spot. But also I have like background friend trauma where I am in the past have been used to people like pulling me as like the bench warmer friend. And I just, for my sanity and for my own happiness, won't put myself in that situation anymore, even if it's not that, it's just not fair to me to be a bench warmer friend. I'm not a bench warmer friend. I'm not a background friend. I want to be in rooms with people who think of me first, not as a seat filler friend. And it happens. It's happened in the past before. And I've been very delusional to think nothing of that. And the older I've gotten, the more I've been like, I don't like that feeling. Okay. And like I said, there are exceptions to that last minute rule, but you're not inviting me last minute on like a whole trip because you're basically telling me like somebody dropped out. Here's the thing. If you're like honest about like, oh, somebody dropped out of this, like we were looking to fill it. If you're upfront about it, like I might even feel better about it and be like more privy to joining. But if it's like, you're not being honest about the fact that this is so last minute, I can't get with it. I can't. And it's really just because of my own issues. But also like if I've ever been invited to an event that was like thrown together last minute, it is always some kind of chaotic thing. So I feel like it just always lines up that last minute things aren't for me anymore for so many reasons, but mostly because I'm like traumatized because I have been the bench warmer friend in the past and I'm not doing it anymore. Okay. I'll just stay home with him. Life hack number 8, save and invest. Okay. This is hard. I mean, in this economy, we're trying. We're all trying. I get it. But there are tools that you can use. If you have any bit of disposable income, even if it is like a tiny, tiny bit that you can put towards a savings, that you can put towards investing, do it. Your future self will thank you. Okay. As soon as I wasn't paycheck to paycheck, I started working with a financial advisor that could help me build up a savings and understand how to divide my money up, like literally giving me percentages on like what to put here and there. And I wasn't making a lot of money, but over time you see your savings compound if you have like, the type of savings account where it can grow versus just sitting. There are little things that you can do that can make a bit of a difference, right? So look into those options. If you guys want an episode on like little money hacks, let me know. Or if you have a money hack, put it down in the comments right now if you're on YouTube. Definitely give us some money hacks because I think there's a misconception with that. You have to be making so much money to be able to save and invest. And that's not necessarily true. There are little things that you can start to tweak while you're trying to have a little bit of disposable income. And then over time, as that grows, you can do more and more and invest in more and invest towards your future, hopefully. I recommend it now. This is the time to be thinking of those things in your 20s and 30s for sure, especially if you were child free right now. Oh, definitely do it because it only gets more complicated once the child gets here. So that's why for AJ and I should have put it in that episode where I was like my pre-pregnancy checklist because this is so true. Organizing like our investments and savings was so crucial before we had a kid. So we won't have to scramble to figure that out once we have a child here. We're already saving for that baby. And babies are expensive, okay? Can we talk about the fact that they gave me a breakdown of how much it'll cost for me to have a baby? And I'm like, damn. I'm the one making it and pushing it out. Damn. I just need to stay home at this point and damn. Number 9, plan tomorrow tonight. This is also going to be really helpful for my neurodivergent girlies if you struggle with decision fatigue or like executive function. You wake up and you have a list of things to do and you can't start them or you don't know where to start, like you're overwhelmed and you have decision fatigue, hear me out. Plan tomorrow tonight. It has been the best life hack. I probably would put it number 1 on this list, to be honest with you, because when I can brain dump at the end of a day, okay, what I normally do is I literally get in bed, I open my phone and I go to the notes app and I use the little to-do bubbles and I say, okay, so today's Monday. I'll make Tuesday's list. I write everything on there, from breakfast, taking a shower, to what I actually have to do for work. Like record a podcast, clear out my email box. Like I write down every single thing I need to do. And what's nice about it is that it clears my head before bed. It's like brain dumping all that stuff. Because sometimes you're just like agitated and overwhelmed and you can't quite put your finger on it. And I've found that brain dumping everything that I need to do the night before clears my head and relaxes me before bed. And then the next day when I wake up, I am sometimes like, what do I start with? If I don't have that list, I'm a mess. I'm not as productive. I'm not as efficient. And I really just don't know where to start with my day. Something, even if it's as simple as like, okay, Bria, go make yourself some breakfast. Sometimes I'm in seasons where I have to be so specific about everything. I can't just say breakfast. I have to say we're doing oats with berries in the morning. Like I have to make those decisions for myself the night before, because I might be in, like I told you guys, I really struggle in the winter and the cooler months and when we don't have as much sunlight. So in those cases, I would need to be a little more specific about what's to come the next day. That's me being an ally to my brain rather than a victim to my brain. I just know how I operate and it is what it is. Decision fatigue. If you have trouble like deciding your outfit, what you need to wear, like make it easy for yourself. Build a capsule wardrobe where it's a bunch of solid pieces that can be mixed together so that you can have less complications. I've done my last 2 episodes in a bathrobe because of decision fatigue. Fun fact. So I don't have to decide anything. No, just give me the rope. Because I'm at home, I'm in my bed anyways. It just makes sense. But also it's been really helpful to just help me get through recording a podcast and not make it any more complicated than it needs to be. Number 10, conquer your mornings. Okay. People who know how to conquer their mornings are winning at life. Let me tell you something. I've said this story before, but I used to work out with a group of like millionaires. Okay. And I don't really know if they're millionaires or not, but they were all pretty fucking rich because I would get to the gym at like 6 a.m. The parking lot had like 10 different name brand luxury cars. Okay, whatever luxury car you could think of, it was in that parking lot. And this group of very rich people would come and get their hour workout in, or maybe 2 hours, I don't even remember, before the sun was up. It was still dark outside. The reason I had to work out at that time was because of my trainer's availability, but it was nice for me to kind of peek behind the curtain of these business owners and CEOs that had really nice assets and see how they were just conquering the day. I say this all the time, like the biggest life hack that you'll ever need is understanding that you have to fill your cup before you fill everyone else's cup. And they would get that workout in before they were doing whatever they were doing to own those really nice cars. I didn't really know these people. I just had enough information to know that obviously they were wealthy and they own a lot of things and businesses. Since then, I've always wanted to utilize my mornings to do as much as possible. Also, it's something I genuinely love because when I'm up in the morning, there's something so peaceful about knowing nobody's going to bother you yet. You're not going to get a text or an email just yet. You have like 2 or 3 hours before the world is up. And it's kind of like this mega flex to be driving to a workout and there's no traffic on the street, driving back from a workout and there's like nothing going on. It's so peaceful. I don't know. I've just learned to love it. And it's kind of like I get the hard things out of the way then. So then the rest of my day is just so much more easygoing and I've already invested in myself. I've had quiet time. I've had time to reflect. It's a beautiful thing. And it's all about conquering your morning. Like you definitely do have time to be making yourself like the best version of yourself if you would stop hitting snooze. Get up out of your bed and learn how to conquer your mornings and utilize those hours before the rest of the world wakes up. Stop binging Netflix till 1 a.m. and take your ass to sleep. Like you could be doing so much more. You just have to be honest with yourself. Are you maximizing the hours in your day? Number 11 is like one of my favorites. Schedule your emails. So this kind of ties into the last one where I said you got to get up in the morning, okay? People who are seriously winning at life get up early. Like period. There's just no dancing around that. So I used to do a lot of my work before people will wake up. There's a feature where you can schedule your emails to go out at a certain time. Okay, I feel very strange sending an email at 5 a.m., so I don't. But sometimes 5 a.m. is when I'm conquering my morning and I'm getting shit done. Oh my God, especially right now, this baby has me up at like 4 a.m. For what? For what? So if that's when I'm at my most awake, I have to run with it. But I'm not going to be psycho and send emails that early. I'm going to schedule them. I send them to go out at like 9 or 10. So they're kind of at the top of your inbox. Like you're gonna see me at like 9 or 10. But it's the best hack. And it's also great because when you schedule them, if you messed it up, you can actually go back and edit those emails. So you're welcome. Schedule your emails out. And you can even do that. Like if you're scheduling emails out on the weekend when you know like it's weird to send an email on Saturday and Sunday, don't do that. Schedule it out to go out first thing Monday morning. But if that's the only time you have, do it then. It's great. So as some of you know, my husband AJ and I are moving into a new house and I was devastated. We had to get rid of a good portion of our cookware that was falling apart and in general, just not great quality. So we ended up upgrading to Caraway, and you guys, I could not be more excited to get in the kitchen in this new house. And it's honestly perfect timing because I really want to get in my homemaker era and throw down this holiday season. And now I have the tools to do it. Caraway's cookware is a great investment because not only is every piece beautiful, but you're getting cookware that's made with non-toxic products and it's designed for easy cooking and cleaning. Caraway's internet famous cookware set comes with the saute pan, fry pan, Dutch oven, and saucepan, plus the lids for all of them, a canvas lid holder, and magnetic pan rack for storage. It's the ultimate kitchen setup and will save you $150 versus buying the items individually. You can visit carawayhome.com/BCILY to see all of your favorite products and take an additional 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/BCILY or use code BCILY at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern. Okay, next one, do not disturb is self-care. I didn't stutter. I love the do not disturb feature. I think we're at a point in our world where we're overstimulated and I'm literally numb to notifications, but I will say they're still very distracting. So I turn on do not disturb all morning until I've had my breakfast, I've done my self-care routine or whatever, and I'm ready to actually clock in for work, which is usually around like 9 or 10. Yeah, when I'm ready to talk to people. Okay. That's around like 9 or 10. And then also in the evening, sometimes I just hit a wall where I'm just like, I can't talk right now. I want to be present with AJ, Bubby, like I just want to have some time for me. And I turn on that do not disturb. I love that feature. Okay. Use it. It is literally self-care. And it's nice because I love that it tells other people that you have it on. So they're also aware like, oh, she'll get to this when she can. But I have been using it so much more lately, especially since I've been pregnant. And it's really given me some peace back. And my last but not least life hack is you need to remember that clutter is a reflection of your brain. I live by that. When my life is messy, my environment is messy. And I feel like when my life is messy, it's also distracting. It's very sneaky how a messy environment can make other things in your life chaotic. It's not just like, oh, my closet is a mess and everything is on the floor and I can't find anything. That literally delays me like 30 minutes every single day trying to get dressed because I have to find things in the midst of that pile of clothes. Okay, just clean up. And yes, you're going to have to clean up often. Like, welcome to adulthood. It's not a one and done thing. That's why so many people have made literal brands of doing Sunday resets. Because yeah, you need at least one day out of your week to clean up because life happens. You're going to mess things up. You're going to, clutter things up again, but you need a day to reset and give yourself that because it's so nice to have that, especially like the feeling after you've reset your living room and your kitchen and you've done all the laundry. Like you cannot tell me you don't feel amazing after you reset your life. And if you just stay on top of it like once a week or so, you don't have to feel overwhelmed in, doing a huge cleanup and like you can never get things done. So just take the time to get organized and remember that you will literally think and behave so much better in every aspect of your life. you will be able to be more creative. Like, I'm big on energy, right? So when I feel like there's clutter, everything has energy. Like, this phone has energy. Like, it is energy. Everything is energy, even though it doesn't have like life. Okay. So when there's so much stagnant energy, it really affects me on a lot of levels. I feel like I'm not as creative. And first trimester, let me tell you, this was a struggle for me because every single day I was dealing with so much nausea and sickness that I had no capacity to be cleaning. Like, I wasn't doing my weekly cleaning. And mind you, I love a weekly reset. It's kind of like resetting myself, and it's very therapeutic. I put on like a good YouTube video and I just clean. But I couldn't do that first trimester. And I feel like because I wasn't on top of like my personal life, I also wasn't feeling creative. I had to take a break from the podcast. Like, y'all already know. And that's fine. I've never been pregnant before. I'm doing the best that I can. But it just showed like the domino effect for me. And it was just really a reminder of why I've created all these routines and systems. So I'm thankful for those. And when I do have the energy and the capacity, and when I'm not going to be pregnant, I will be jumping back into what I can as quickly as possible because I know it helps me on so many levels. And if I can invest in myself in that way, everyone's life is going to be better, including the baby that we're going to have in 2025. So yeah. Declutter your life, declutter your brain. Anyways, these are the 13 life hacks that I've been truly living by that I love so much. And I would love to know any life hacks that you have down below in the comments. If you're on YouTube, let me know. I am so curious. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. I hope it was helpful. And if you enjoyed it, please rate us 5 stars. That's how you can support this podcast for free. Rate us 5 stars, share it, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Because I Love You Podcast, we're so close on TikTok to hitting 1,000 followers. And when we do, we get a link in our bio, which is really important because we need to link the episodes. So if you would like to help us reach that goal, please, we're so close. I think we're at like 970 or something like that. Please go follow us there so we can get a link in bio. Okay, thank you guys so much. Love you.